Today's story is absolutely devastating. It involves OP, who finds out that her husband is potentially a cheater. But see, the cheating doesn't really make sense, because she really trusts her husband and he's never away from her. She remembers over the last 18 years maybe a handful of times where he disappeared overnight. A handful over 20 years. But one of the elderly neighbors come to their house one day and confront the husband and say, "I know what you've done with my wife." Well, turns out this lady, who they're talking about, is a 73-year-old person with Alzheimer's. And OP just does not seem to believe that her husband, who's in his early 50s, would do this with a 73-year-old woman who is suffering mental decline. But guys, when I tell you there's so many twists in this story, it absolutely destroys 5 families. That's right, throughout the update we'll see how 5 different families tie into today's story. Yes, this is a long one. That's because I have every single update. Hit the hype button on this video. It's a new function, kinda like the like button, but it really helps out the channel. So if you enjoyed today's video, smash the hype button. Alright guys, let's jump into it. I'm 48 and female, and yes, I need help. Some background. Liam and I have been together for 18 years, married for 17 of them. When we met, I was a disaster, fresh out of a rehab for gambling addiction. Yeah, I don't care, I'll talk about it, it cost me everything. My first marriage, my savings, nearly my children. I'd blown through my twin college funds at a blackjack table. I was living in my sister's basement, working 3 jobs to pay back debts, and going to GA meetings twice a day just to stay sane. Liam was my sponsor's nephew. We met at a meeting. He was there supporting his uncle. This man looked at me broke, desperate, with 2 8-year-old boys and more baggage than an airport, and saw somebody worth loving. He did not just accept my past, he helped me rebuild from it. Went to meetings with me for 2 years straight, and helped me create a budget, rebuilt my credit, and when I relapsed once, only once, 4 months in, he didn't leave. He drove me back to rehab himself. My boys, Tommy and Jake, are 24 now, both engineers, like Liam. He taught them to code, coached their robotics team, and paid for their college, insisted on it, and said that's what a dad does. They started calling him Dad when they were 13. It was their choice, and the adoption papers are framed inside of his office. I'm a real estate agent now. Pretty successful, actually. Liam's a software engineer and works from home. Has 8 years now. His office is in our converted garage, but he usually works in the den because he likes the natural lighting. We have lunch together most days. In 18 years, we've spent maybe 10 nights apart total, all for my work conferences or his mom's funeral. See, our life is boring and perfect at the same time. Saturday, farmer market, Sunday, crosswords in bed. We're that couple that still holds hands at the grocery store. Our friends joke that we're codependent, and my therapist says that we have, quote, admirable communication and trust. So, explain to me why I'm sitting here wondering if my entire marriage is a lie. Sunday morning, 9 a.m. We're on the front porch having a cup of coffee, reading our phone, normal Sunday. This elderly man walks up to the driveway, well-dressed, maybe 75 with a silver hair, wearing actual suits on Sunday morning. I remember thinking he looked like he stepped out of a 1950s photograph. I'm Benjamin. I live down the street, the white colonial with the rose garden. I know the house. 6 houses down, gorgeous Victorian roses, and his wife Harper. Used to walk their golden retriever past our house every morning until about a year ago. Sweet lady, always waved. She was in her late 70s. I need to speak with you both about a delicate matter. He said it super formal, like he's reading from a script, that he looks directly at Liam and says, I know you've been having an affair with my wife, son. I laughed. Actually laughed out loud because it was so absurd. I mean, come on. A 51-year-old software engineer doing that with a 73-year-old grandmother? But Liam Liam went white. Not pale, he went white, like all blood just drained from his face.
No, Benjamin, I think there's been a misunderstanding.
Liam said, but his voice cracked on misunderstanding. Benjamin pulled out his phone and starts reading from what looked like notes. Tuesday afternoon, 2 to 4 p.m., when Maria shows houses. Thursday afternoon, 3 to 5 p.m. during your supposed running group. The den with navy blue walls, the brown leather couch, the window that looks onto the garden. My stomach dropped. Those are exactly the times that I'm gone. And that's our den, exactly described word for word, navy walls we painted last year. The brown couch that we bought for Liam's 50th.
Harper told me. She's been having moments of clarity lately between the confusion. She told me about your birthmark.
The birthmark? Liam has a port wine stain on his little left shoulder blade shaped like Italy, and we joke about it. I call it his little boot. You can't see it unless his shirt is off.
She told me about the scar on your chest from your childhood surgery.
Liam had heart surgery at age 7. There's a thin scar running down his sternum. Again, not visible unless his shirt is off. I said, this is crazy. This is borderline insane. But my voice sounded weird, high-pitched. I said, Harper has Alzheimer's. You just said she's confused.
Mid-staged, but she does have clear moments, documented clear moments. She knows things, Maria, specific things.
He pulled out a man's watch from his pocket, silver, black leather band, expensive looking.
She had this hidden in her knitting basket. Is this yours, Liam?
Liam stared at it for far too long before answering. I lost that watch at the gym. I swear it was months ago. Well, which gym? I asked, and Liam looked at me with this expression I've never seen before, like I was a stranger.
The one on Maple.
But here's the thing. Liam's gym is on Riverside, not Maple, and has been for 5 years, and I know because I'm the one that pays the membership. Benjamin stands up and says,
I'm not here to make a scene, but this ends now. Stay away from my wife's son. If I see you near her again, I'll tell your boys. I'll tell your neighbors. Hell, I'll tell Maria down the street at bingo. Everyone will know what kind of man you are.
After he left, Liam grabbed my hands and he said, Mia, I swear I've never touched that woman. I barely know her and she used to walk by with the dog. I would wave, maybe chit-chat for 30 seconds about the weather. That's it. Then how does she know about your birthmark or your scar?
I don't know.
Maybe she saw me doing yard work without a shirt. Yeah, maybe she's confused and saw someone else. Her mind is going, Mia, you know that. But here's what's eating at me, guys. We installed security cameras 6 months ago after the Johnsons got robbed down the street. Full coverage, front, back, garage, and den. The den camera started glitching about 2 months ago. Liam said he would fix it, but he hasn't. And when I asked to check the footage from the past 2 weeks, he said he accidentally deleted it while trying to fix the problem. The exact room Benjamin mentioned, the exact time frame he claims this happened. So I said, you know what, let's go check the other cameras. They'll show if Harper came to the house.
Well, honey, I deleted those too. I was trying to clear space on the hard drive. Yeah, the system was running slow.
All of it, every camera. What, for weeks? And then I remember something. Your running group, the Thursday one, I've never met anybody from it.
Oh, honey, it's just guys from work.
Which guys? Steve, Marky Mark, the new developer, what's his name?
Honey, different department. You don't know these people.
In 18 years, I know all his coworkers. We have barbecues, we go to their kids' graduation, but this running group that started 4 months ago, complete strangers completely. That night, I couldn't sleep. Around 3 a.m, I went to get a cup of water and found Liam in the den on his laptop, and he slams it shut when I walks in.
He said, oh, honey, I couldn't sleep. Just checking work email.
Work emails at 3:17 a.m. on a Sunday night. I noticed his phone on the desk, and when I reached for my charger next to it, he grabbed the phone so fast, he knocked over his coffee mug.
"Oh, sorry, honey, I'm jumpy. This whole thing has me on edge."
When he went to get paper towels, I tried to open up the laptop, but it said password was protected.
He's never had a password on his personal laptop before. Never.
And his phone, when he came back, I watched him unlock it.
The password has changed. For 18 years, it's been 0414.
Our anniversary. And now it's something else entirely. But here's the detail that makes me go crazy. The thing I haven't told him, Liam, was last month our neighbor Evelyn mentioned seeing an elderly woman near our home a few times when I was at work. Seemed like she was confused, is what Evelyn said. Evelyn even said, "Oh,
she was just standing in your driveway looking at your house. I almost called the police once, but then she just left."
I assumed that she meant the Petersons' house next door because they have lots of elderly relatives always coming and going. But what if she meant our home?
What if Harper has been here and I just didn't know it?
There's one more thing. This morning I was doing laundry and found a receipt right there in Liam's jeans. Dry cleaning, but it wasn't from our usual spot. It was from 3 towns over, and the receipt was a shirt with a significant stain removal for $13.99. I know stain removal prices. This one must have been bad. When I asked him about it, he said Steve had spilled wine on him at lunch, and that place was the only good one, and it was open late. Steve is a recovering alcoholic, guys. He has not had a drink in 10 years. How did Steve, the non-alcoholic, spill wine at lunch? Guys, I love this man. He saved me when I could not save myself. He raised my boys. He's my whole world. But something is very, very wrong here, and I don't know if I'm being paranoid or if I'm finally seeing the light. What do I do? Edit. I just remembered something else, guys, before I end this first post. Last month, Liam installed a lock on his office door in the garage. Said it was for sensitive work files in case we get robbed. He works in app development. What sensitive files could he have in there? Edit 2. Oh my gosh, I just checked our credit card statement, guys. I'm looking through everything. There's 6 charges over the past 3 months for GPay. It's a Google service for $50. When I Google it, it can, it's a way to hide purchases. He handles our finances and I never look at the statements. Edit 3. To those asking, yes, Harper's dementia is real. I've seen her confused at the grocery store. Benjamin had to come get her once when she could not remember where she lives, but early-stage dementia patients can have clear moments of recent events, right? Oh gosh, I don't know what to think anymore. What's up, everybody? That was the conclusion of the main post, but I'm going to tell you right now, this story is going to escalate, and it's one of the wildest stories that we've covered in the past month at least. The title for Update 1, it was posted 3 days later, and it says, "You were right about the sun." That's all it says. There's no context behind it. It just says, "You were right about the sun." Guys, I need you to do something for me right now if you want to support the channel. YouTube has released a new thing called Hype. It's a new way you can show support for the videos just by clicking the Hype button. And what that button does just tells everybody, hey, this is a cool video, you should check it out. You get 3 hypes per week. So if you have your hypes left and if you're enjoying today's story, go ahead and smash that Hype button, smash the like button, and don't forget to drop a comment. Those are the best 3 ways to support the channel. Let's hop into the update. Here, I'll give you update number 1, posted 3 days later. Bring on the hype! I don't know where to start. Everything has exploded. First, thank you to everybody who responded. You know, there was one comment who said that they knew Benjamin from Denver, and to look into his son Noah.
Well, you were absolutely right. Noah is the key to all of this, but not exactly how I thought. See,
I need to organize this or I'll just ramble forever. So much has happened in 72 hours, so I'm going to break it down step by step. Monday morning, Liam left for his running group. 3 p.m., I immediately go to his office. You know the new lock? It was pickable with a bobby pin. Shout out to that YouTube tutorial. Oh man, I can pick any lock now. Anyways, inside I found his old laptop.
The one he said died last year, well, it wasn't. It had all the security footage backed up. So I go through everything, right? Liam did delete the files, but not the recent ones. Everything deleted was exactly 3 months ago. Specific dates were March 15th, the 22nd, the 29th, April 5th, April 12th. So I pulled up our shared Google Calendar, and every one of those dates had an appointment with Dr. Morrison, 2 p.m. So I Google Dr. Morrison. He's a neurologist specializing in genetic markers for dementia. My hands were shaking so bad I could barely type.
Tuesday, I'm getting mail and Evelyn practically runs over to me saying, "Maria, I need to show you something. I've been feeling guilty not saying anything sooner." She pulls out her phone and shows me photos dated exactly 6 weeks ago. The elderly woman in our driveway, it's Harper, but she's not alone. There's somebody with her, just a bit out of frame. A man's shadow. In one photo, Harper's clearly trying to open our garage side door while the man appears to be directing her. "Oh, there's more," she says. She swipes to a video. Harper's in our garage going through boxes. Pulling out what looks like photo albums, the man's voice is clear. "Look for pictures of him, Mom. Remember what he looks like. This is where your boyfriend lives." The voice is younger, definitely not Benjamin. Evelyn enhanced one photo where the man's reflection is visible in our car window. It's not like perfectly clear, but the build, the hair color, it's not Benjamin. This man is decades younger. Well, besides that, I took Benjamin's watch to 3 jewelers, pretending I wanted to buy something similar for Liam's birthday. The third one, an old man who's been in business for 40 years, recognizes it immediately. "Oh, this is a vintage Omega. I serviced this exactly 6 months ago. See this scratch on the back? Shaped like a crescent? I remember because the gentleman was very specific about not buffing it out. Said it was sentimental." He pulled up his recordings, and the service was for a Noah Benjamin. He even had a photo of Noah from their insurance documentation. He showed me another interesting thing. This gentleman tried to sell several other vintage watches last month. Said they were his grandfather's, but I don't buy without proper documentation. The watches were worth about $30,000 in total. Well, Tuesday night I could not handle it anymore. I showed Liam the neurologist appointment on the calendar and he broke. Completely broke, sobbed in a way I've never seen in 18 years. His father, Oliver, has early onset Alzheimer's, diagnosed at 73, and he's now in a facility 40 miles away. Liam has been visiting him every week on Thursdays. The running group is actually a caregiver support group at the Methodist Church. I watched my brilliant father, a man who designed bridges, forget my name, he said. He thinks I'm his brother who died in Vietnam. I didn't tell you because if I said it out loud, if you knew, then it would be real, and I'd have to face that I might have the gene. So, the March appointments, right? Genetic testing. The deleted footage, those were the days that he came home and cried in the den after seeing his father. He deleted them because he could not bear the thought of me seeing him like that. "I'm getting the results next week," he whispered. "APOE4 gene. If I have 2 copies, it's a 70% chance by age 65, Mia. I could forget you. I could forget the boys, and I could become a stranger in our home, and you're going to have to watch it happen." So Wednesday morning, Benjamin called me with his voice shaking. "I found Harper's journal from before she got bad, pages and pages about someone she calls the kind man with sad eyes. She describes him perfectly. It's your husband. But Maria, the entries are fantasies. She writes about conversations that could not have happened. She mentions her son David being there, and David passed away in Afghanistan in 2009. Then he said something that chilled me. But there are more entries, more new, different handwriting in the margins. Someone's been coaching her, adding details. Remember to mention the birthmark. The den has navy walls. He deleted the cameras like someone was feeding her information." Through my real estate network, I learned something crucial. Noah Benjamin declared bankruptcy exactly 6 months ago, failed cryptocurrency ventures apparently, and he owes the IRS $400,000. He moved back in with his parents, but here's the thing. Benjamin's estate is worth $3 million. His father owned a manufacturing company, all in a trust. If Benjamin is declared mentally incompetent, guess who becomes trustees? But it gets worse.
My colleague Jeanette handles estate sales. She told me Noah has been asking about power of attorney laws. And, well, specifically about challenging a parent's mental capacity and the making of irrational accusations against neighbors that could indicate paranoid delusions. So, the Thursday discovery, right? Yesterday, I followed Liam to his running group, and I'm not proud of it, but I had to know. The Methodist Church, Room 12B, Children of Dementia. It's a support group. I watched through the small window in the door as my strong, brilliant husband stood up and talked. He said, "My father asked me yesterday if I knew where his son was." I said, "I'm right here, Dad." He said, "No, his son is 7 years old and loves trains." I realized he was looking for me as a kid. That me that exists now isn't real to him anymore, and I've been erased in real time, and all I can think about is that someday Mia will be standing where I am, and I'll be the one erasing her. He broke down and the entire group hugged him. I sat in my car and sobbed for an hour. When I got home, Liam was waiting. He knew that I followed him. "There's something else," he said. "Something that happened with Harper. It's why I went so white when Benjamin confronted us." 6 months ago, Harper was walking her dog. She seemed lucid, chatting normally, and then suddenly she grabbed Liam's face and kissed him. Full-on kissed him in the mouth. She called me David and said her son. She said, "I knew you would come back from Afghanistan, baby. I knew you were not really gone." So I gently push her away, walk her home, and she was so confused and kept asking why I was pretending not to know her. He installed our security cameras the next day, and the deleted footage from that specific date, it showed the kiss. He deleted it out of respect for Harper's dignity. I couldn't let that moment, that confused, heartbreaking moment of a mother missing her son exist on video. This morning, Benjamin came by. He looked terrible, aged 10 years and at least 3 days. "I found credit card charges. Noah's been taking Harper out of the house during her confused state, driving her places, and there's charges near your street at the coffee shop. Multiple times, and he's been bringing her here, parking down the block and telling her stories." He showed me his phone, text messages from Noah. It said, "Mom's having a good day taking her for a drive." Well, the timestamps match exactly with when Evelyn saw Harper at our house. There's more. I found recording equipment in Noah's room. He's been recording Harper during her confused moments, asking her leading questions like, "Remember the man you're seeing? What's his name? Where does he live?" And when she can't answer, he fills in the blanks. But the worst part is Benjamin found documents on Noah's computer. He's been researching facilities, getting quotes, not for Harper, but for Benjamin. The accusations against Liam were supposed to make Benjamin look paranoid, delusional. The first step in declaring him incompetent. We're going to confront Noah tomorrow. Me, Liam, and Benjamin says Harper had a clear moment yesterday and said something crucial. "Noah scares me. He makes me say things. I wrote it down so I won't forget." But Benjamin can't find where she wrote it. We've researched everywhere and looked around the whole house. I'll update after tomorrow. I'm just scared of what we'll find out, but I need to know the truth. Also, to those who ask, yes, I believe Liam now. The man was protecting his father's dignity, protecting me from worry, and protecting Harper's confused moment from becoming permanent record. He's not perfect, but he's not a cheater. But Noah is something else entirely. Update 2 posted 5 days later. Everything went to hell. Guys, I've started this update 15 times, and I don't know how to explain what happened. I'm writing this while sitting next to Liam's father, who is currently teaching an imaginary engineering class in our den using my makeup as chalk. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Thursday, 4 p.m., we arrived at Benjamin's house. Me, Liam, and Benjamin had agreed to meet first and then confront Noah together. But Noah was already there with a lawyer and 2 witnesses, a middle-aged couple I didn't even recognize. "These are the martyrs," Noah said, smiling. "They live 2 streets over, and Mom's been confessing to them, too, about her boyfriend." The lawyer, a sharp-dressed woman named Patricia, spread out documents on the coffee table. "Mr. Benjamin, we're here to discuss your recent concerning behavior. These false accusations against neighbors, the paranoid delusions about your son. Your family is worried about you." She had papers. Psychiatric evaluation request, power of attorney forms, all partially filled out. Noah pressed play on his phone, and Harper's voice filled the room. "I meet him on Tuesdays and Thursdays, Liam, the man with the birthmark like Italy.
but I could hear it now, the careful editing, the spaces where Noah's questions were removed. I said, "You doctored these." And Noah smiled and said, "Prove it." That's when he made his mistake. He leaned close to Liam and whispered, "Your father's nursing home is so understaffed. Accidents happen all the time, especially to confused old men who wander." Liam lunged at him, and Noah fell backward and hit his head in the corner of Benjamin's heavy oak coffee table, with a sound I'll never forget, like a melon dropping. He was unconscious for 46 seconds. Benjamin counted out loud because his voice was mechanical. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi. Later, he told me it's what he does when Harper has seizures. When Noah's eyes opened, he looked at Harper and said, "Mom, why are we at a stranger's house?"
The silence was deafening.
Noah sat up slowly, touching the back of his head, blood on his fingers, and he looked at it confused and said, "Mom, I'm bleeding. Did I fall off my bike?" Benjamin's face went wide. "Noah, you're 45 years old." Noah laughed. Not his earlier cruel laugh, it was a child's giggle. He said, "Dad, I'm not that old. I'm 12. Right, Mom?" The lawyer starts reaching for her phone, and Benjamin grabbed her wrist. He said, "If you call help right now, if you call emergency, they'll take Harper. They'll see her condition. They'll see the situation. They'll put her in a home, please." The witness fled. The lawyer backed toward the door, saying something about liability, and left. So while Benjamin tended to Noah, Harper grabbed my hand, and her grip was surprisingly strong. She said, "Come, before I forget again." Guys, she led me to her knitting room, to a basket of green yarn. Hidden inside were 3 notebooks and 5 prescription bottles. The notebooks went back years, Harper's handwriting, documenting Noah's episodes, pages and pages. "Noah's having a bad month. Says we're imposters again. Found him installing cameras in our bedroom. He bought recording equipment and says he needs to document the absolute truth. Diagnosis confirmed, early onset schizophrenia. He believes that we've been replaced by identical imposters." The medication bottles were all antipsychotics, all prescribed to Noah, all hidden by Harper because, as one entry explained, "He stops taking them when he wants our money. The sicker he acts, the more we give him to make it stop." Wow. We were still processing everything when my phone rang at like midnight. It was Liam calling from downstairs. "Mia, come to the door quietly." So Liam's father, Oliver, was on our porch in pajamas, barefoot. He somehow traveled 30 miles from his facility. "Sandra," he said, grabbing my hand. "I'm so sorry I'm being late for dinner. Traffic was horrible. Is Liam home from school yet? He has a science project due tomorrow, you know." Sandra was Liam's mother. She passed away 15 years ago. Liam stood frozen. He had not seen his father in 6 months, too ashamed, too afraid of seeing his future. "Let's go inside, Oliver. Liam's in his room working on his project." Oliver beamed. He said, "That's my boy. Always so dedicated." The facility called the next morning and Liam answered. "No," he said, we haven't seen him." He hung up and I looked at, him, and he looked at me and said, "I can't send him back. I just can't." The next 48 hours after that were absolutely insane. Noah kept resetting. He would forget where he was, why he was here, why everybody is upset, then remember fragments of becoming agitated, not violent anymore, confused and scared. Benjamin found Noah's car. The trunk was full of recording equipment, hidden cameras, and files. Not just on Harper and Benjamin, on 3 other elderly couples in the neighborhood, all with substantial estates, all with documentation of concerning behavior that could suggest incompetence. Oliver set up class in our den. He's been teaching imaginary students engineering principles using my lipstick and foundation as chalk on the walls, and Liam sits with him for hours pretending to be a student, relearning calculus from his father who doesn't even know it's his son. Here's where it gets insanely, just crazy. Absolutely insane. Day 3. Evelyn shows up at Benjamin's house with homemade lasagna and a key to the front door. Harper, having one of her clear moments, starts to laugh, not confused laughing, just bitter. I know the laughter. "She's been secretly hooking up with my husband for 2 years, Harper announced to the room. "I used to watch from the bedroom window Tuesday and Thursday afternoon like clockwork." She patted Evelyn's hand and said, "It's okay, dear, you can have him. He's been drugging my tea anyways." Benjamin's face crumbled and he admitted to it. See, after Harper's diagnosis, he starts an affair with Evelyn. He's been putting sleeping medication in Harper's evening tea so he could sneak over to Evelyn's house. "But you never drank the tea," he said to Harper, stunned. She said, "No, dear. I poured it into the ficus. That's why it died." So Evelyn, drowning in guilt, admitted that she's been documenting everything for Benjamin. He was paranoid about Harper wandering off, so Evelyn photographed everyone who came near the house. She had hundreds of photos of Liam walking our dog, getting mail, and doing yard work. "I also have photos of Noah." Bringing Harper to your street, telling her stories, making her repeat things. But then Evelyn said something that changed everything. "I'm not actually your neighbor. I'm a home aid health. Benjamin hired me 2 years ago to watch Harper. I rented the house next door just to be closer, and I fell in love with him. I'm sorry." So we have a choice. Call the authorities and watch everything explode. Harper gets institutionalized, Noah arrested, or even hospitalized even, and Oliver taken back to a facility that he escaped from. Benjamin possibly charged with abuse of the elders for giving Harper that tea, or we could take care of our own, Benjamin said firmly. So that's what we're going to do. Noah lives in Benjamin's basement now. The head injury changed him. He's gentler, confused but not violent, and he helps with Harper, makes her laugh, and Benjamin says it's like having his real son back. The one from before, the schizophrenia. Oliver lives with us, and Liam could not send him back. Every morning, Oliver teaches his class in our den. Every evening, he asks when Sandra is coming home. We tell him that she's at the store. Evelyn moved in with Benjamin officially. She takes care of Harper during the day, Benjamin at night. The whole neighborhood knows and pretends it's just normal. So what I found yesterday while cleaning, I found Liam's notebook. He's been documenting his own memory issues for months. Forgot Mia's birthday. Had to set 3 alarms. Called Jake by Tommy's name twice and lost 3 hours of Tuesday, no idea what I did. Couldn't remember our first date location. Dad's facility closed and forgot I visited on Sunday. And the entries go back 6 months. Yesterday, I watched Oliver and Noah have a complete conversation. Oliver thought Noah was his colleague from 1987, and Noah thought Oliver was his grandfather who passed away when he was 10. They discussed engineering principles that don't exist and business plans that never were in existence. They understood each other perfectly while making absolutely no sense. Liam watched them, and he said, "That's going to be me one day." Yeah, that's going to be me. And someday you'll be having these impossible conversations with me. I wanted to say no to argue, but I couldn't, because I just spent 10 minutes looking for my reading glasses while wearing them. Harper had one more clear day. She pulls me aside. She said, "I wanted someone to blame for Benjamin's affair, for my mind going. Your Liam was kind to me once when I was confused, and I fixated on that kindness. And when Noah started putting ideas in my head, I let him, because anger was easier than grief." She looked at Noah, who was showing Oliver a photo album, both of them narrating different stories about the same picture. "This isn't my son. My son was brilliant and cruel. This one is broken, but he's gentle. I think I prefer him this way. Is that terrible?" Before I could even answer, the clarity faded, and she looked at me confused and asked if I was her daughter. Today, it's been 5 days. I'm sitting here documenting this because I found myself writing the same paragraph 3 times in my journal, and I have 4 notebooks now. Sometimes they contradict each other. Liam gets his genetic test next week, and the neighbors pretend this is just all normal. Oliver just asked me if I'm the new teaching assistant, and Noah is in the garden with Harper, and both of them are planting flowers that are already dead. Evelyn is making dinner for everyone like this is just a sitcom. And I'm here, writing this update because I need someone else who sees how insane this entire thing is. Or maybe we're just all losing our minds together, and this is what love looks like when memory fails. I don't know anymore. I just honestly do not know. Final update 8 months later. Hey, I know it's been a while. Some of you have been messaging asking for updates. Sorry for the delay. I've been busy with caregiving duties. So much has happened I hardly know where to start. Let me try to organize this properly. Oliver still is living with us, yep. We converted the den into his bedroom, and every morning at exactly 7 a.m. he starts teaching his engineering course. The walls are covered in equations now, some in markers, some in my lipstick. We ran out of regular writing supplies months ago, and honestly, why does it matter? Half the equations are brilliant, half are nonsense. Liam sits with him every day from 7 to 9, pretending to be a student, taking notes on lessons that shift between 1987 and 2024. Between real physics and imaginary theorems. Noah lives in Benjamin's basement, and the head injury, it changed him. He's sweet now, gentle. He even helps Harper with her puzzles, makes her laugh with silly voices, and Benjamin says it's like having his 12-year-old son back. We don't talk about whether it's ethical to prefer him this way. We don't talk about a lot of things anymore. Yeah, I have to tell you guys the bad news. Harper passed away 2 months ago. Sorry, I didn't tell you. The funeral was strange. 5 different people gave eulogies, each describing a completely different woman. Her sister talked about Harper the teacher, Benjamin talked about Harper the gardener, and Noah, sweet broken Noah, talked about his mommy, who makes the best cookies. Guys, she hasn't baked in years. And the pastor looked confused, but just continued anyways. Noah cried like a child at the service, real gulping sobs, and Benjamin held Evelyn's hand openly, and no one even pretended to be surprised anymore. Liam's test results came back in February positive. 2 copies of APOE4 gene, 70% chance by age 65 and 91% by 75. The genetic counselor talked about options and planning, but I couldn't hear her over the static in my head. Liam just nodded, like he already knew. He probably did. So, we're in 3 clinical trials right this second. Yeah, 3. Pills that might actually slow it down. Yeah, pills that might do nothing. Nothing at all. Pills that might make it worse, but we won't know for years. I have a chart on the refrigerator with 17 different medication timings. And sometimes I find myself staring at it, unable to remember if the blue pills are morning or evening. So the boys, my twins, Tommy and Jake, they came by last month, or was it last week? They found my notebooks. Apparently I have 47 notebooks now, all documenting the same story. But here's the thing, they're all different. In 12 of them, Liam definitely had an affair. In 15, he's innocent, and in 20 or so, I can't tell because my handwriting degenerates into loops and scribbles halfway through. So, Mom, Jake said, holding up 2 notebooks, in this one you say the confrontation happened on a Thursday, and in this one it's Monday, and in this one there's no confrontation at all. I laughed. I mean, what else could I do? They wanted us to go see specialist. Liam and I both need cognitive evaluation. But here's the funny thing, I went to make the appointment and could not even remember which symptoms were mine and which one were Liam's. Am I the one who forgets their birthday, or was it him? Who's been losing hours, who's been calling the boys by the wrong names? Evelyn, she does help now. Oh, I should explain, right? Evelyn isn't a real neighbor. She's a nurse Benjamin hired 2 years ago. She lives with them now, taking care of, well, everyone, I suppose, and she brings dinner every night at 6. It's always the same thing, lasagna, salad, and bread, and I asked her about it once, and she said, "No, Maria, I make different things every night." But I swear it was always lasagna. She's been giving us pills, vitamins, she calls them, but I looked them up once when I was having a good day. It was something else. I should be upset about this probably, but the days I don't take them, the walls feel like they're breathing and I can hear colors, so maybe she's right. Something's wrong with timing in our house. I'll sit down to write in my journal after breakfast and suddenly it's dark outside, and Liam's asking about dinner. I'll go to the bathroom and come out to find everyone's moved to different rooms, doing different things, and they look at me strange when I asked what happened. Oliver had one perfectly clear day in April. He looked at Liam and said, "Son, is that you? You got old." Then he told us the truth about Liam's mother. She didn't pass away of cancer like Liam always believed. She had early onset Alzheimer's. She forgot that she had children and forgot that she was married. And one day she just walked out and never came back, and Oliver found her 3 states away living under a different name with no memory of her previous life. "I told you she passed away because it was easier," Oliver said. "But I see now that was wrong. You deserve to know the truth. Forgetting, it's in our blood. I'm sorry." Then the clarity faded, and he asked Liam if he'd seen his friend Tommy from 3rd grade. That's the name of one of my sons, or maybe I'm confusing them too. I thought I was pregnant last month, but 3 tests, said no. Turned out I'd already gone through menopause 2 years ago, and I just didn't remember. But sometimes I still feel the baby kicking, which the doctor says is impossible and concerning, but won't explain why. The real strange thing, I've been finding drafts of this update everywhere. On my laptop, in my phone, handwriting in my notebooks, all slightly different. In one version, Harper is still alive. In another, Liam and I are divorced. In 3 of them, Noah passed away from the head injury. But this is the real one. I'm sure of it. Oh, I mentioned Benjamin and Harold earlier. Same person. I've been calling him both names for months now. But he responds to both. Sometimes I call Liam David, and he responds to that too. Names are becoming fluid with me. Last week, I was looking for my reading glasses for an hour, and Liam helped me search. We turned the house upside down, and finally, Evelyn just gently touched my face. I was wearing them. We've both been looking for glasses I was wearing, and Liam laughed until he cried, or maybe he was just really crying. The neighbors pretend everything is just normal. Or maybe everything is normal, and we're the ones pretending it's weird. I don't know. Sometimes I do catch Liam staring at me, like he's trying to memorize my face. And sometimes I realize, what I'm doing is the same to him. We're both trying to hold on to each other before we disappear. But here's the thing I've been trying to write, the thing that keeps getting lost in all these notebooks. I don't think Liam ever had an affair. I don't think he did. But it doesn't matter anymore because I can't remember what actually happened and neither can he. We had a fight about it last week, and both of us are arguing different versions of events, and neither of us are sure which memory is real. Did Harper kiss you? Who's Harper? He said. The woman with Alzheimer's? No, that's you, honey. And for a moment I couldn't argue because I wasn't sure he was wrong. Evelyn just brought dinner, lasagna again. She says it's chicken piccata, and everyone else is nodding, so maybe it is. Maybe I'm the confused one. I need to post this now before I forget why I'm writing it. Or before I convince myself none of this happened, and before I realize all of it happened differently. Everything worked out. Liam never cheated. We're all friends now, and we're one big happy family. Sorry I keep writing that. I don't know why. Well, turns out my boys are here. When did they arrive? They're reading over my shoulder, and Jake is crying, and Tommy is on the phone with someone, and they keep using words like immediate evaluation and cognitive decline and tumor markers? Tumor? Who has a tumor? Apparently I do. I had a tumor for 2 years, they say. Benign, but pressing on something important. Operable, but risky. Everyone knew but me. Liam's here now. He's holding my hand, and his father is in the background teaching math to Noah, who's taking careful notes. Post-its, Liam says, so somebody remembers even if we don't. I love him. I've always loved him, even when I can't remember his name. Even when he can't remember mine. Guys, that was the final post, but there was a comment that came out 3 years later, and this comment is from Twin Sun 17. It says this. I found my mom's account online while cleaning out Dad's stuff. He's in memory care now. Noah takes care of him, which is ironic if you knew the whole story. They don't remember any of this post. Mom's tumor was real. The dementia was the tumor, not genetics. She could have been saved if caught earlier, but everyone thought her confusion was something from the stress of Dad's diagnosis. See, Dad's dementia is real, genetic, like his father. The affair, well, we'll never know. Mom's 47 notebooks all say different things. Dad doesn't remember Harper passed away before Mom, so we can't ask her. And Benjamin, well, he harmed himself 6 months after Mom's death. Evelyn disappeared with most of his memory, and Noah's head injury just left him with permanent damage. But he's functional, happy even. He visits Dad every day, and they have long conversations about things that didn't happen. They seem so content. Maybe that's better than remembering this world. Maybe forgetting is its own kind of mercy. There'll never be another post for this story. It's over now.